I told Paul and David I'd be honored to come and give a wrap-up to the state budget. I told them that last December after the election. I had no idea it would be the middle of July when we had the opportunity to do that. And I want to take you back a little bit after the election and just the great results with Governor Branstad and Lieutenant Governor Reynolds and the Republican majority in the House and really narrowing the gap in the Senate. We set out with some principles in mind. And we did that collectively. And I want to commend Matt and the party because through the campaign, we really kept on the same page. And I think that was very important for Iowans to hear a consistent message. And that was that we wanted to get our fiscal house in order. We wanted to put the train back on the tracks with fiscal responsibility. We needed to eliminate some of the gimmicks that had been used in the prior years. The governor was very forceful that he was going to have a 2-year budget and a 5-year balanced budget projection. We had said that collectively we were going to develop a budget that would not spend more money than we take in, and that we would abide by those guiding principles throughout the process. You know, why did it take so long? You know, we all look bad when it takes so long. And this is why it took so long. The budget that we inherited collectively, the Lieutenant Governor, the Governor, the Republicans, spent $1.18 of every dollar brought in by the state from taxpayers. And the budget that we passed and the governor's reviewing for signature now spends 97 cents for every dollar that comes in. I believe we could have been honest. In the history of the state, there's never been a legislature that has passed $280 million new dollars in K-12 education in a 2-year period. So I think Republicans can stand pretty strong that we're invested in education. And the other thing that I think, and we've talked about at this group that was critically important, and I think is a major victory for Iowans, is that we talked about mental health reform a lot in this group. And we were not only able to start the ball rolling on the reform effort, which will take about 3 to 5 years, but we were able to get $31 million new dollars into the mental health system. By the end of this month, there should be no Iowan on a wait list for mental health services. There should be no Iowa youth on a wait list for mental health services. And if done appropriately, there should never be a time when Iowans are on a wait list again for mental health services. And we really believe that's a core service for those that can't provide it themselves. We have $379 billion in the budget year that just ended. This next year, we have $5.99 billion in general fund dollars, $106.1 million that is the healthcare trust fund, and then another $32 million that is for the revolving funds out of commerce. Ralph Watts has been very involved in that and really got those in shape this year. That's a total of $6.132 billion, $242 million less than we spent last year. Practicing it, those was just the next number. That was in April. And that by May, when the pressure came to adjourn the session, we'd move up another $100 or $150 million. And the governor stood strong, and the Republicans stood strong, and Iowans have a budget that I believe not only are they going to be proud of as it unfolds, they have a budget, I believe, that will be historic. It's historic because it sets a completely different path of spending in this state that can be carried forward for many years. I had a gentleman ask me yesterday, so Scott, what is it that we're going to miss? What is it we're not going to see? Iowans, what are we going to not see by spending $242 million less? And I racked my brain, and I thought about it all last night. I cannot think of one significant thing that Iowans will see, and they'll be able to point, we don't have that because we don't have a budget that spends $242 million more. We're still going to have troopers on the road. In fact, we're going to have more troopers on the road. We're still going to have prisons and corrections. We're still going to have state parks. They're going to be clean. Our rest stops are going to be clean. Health and Human Services are going to be delivered. I really think this is an outstanding budget for Iowa. And I think it's just the start. I will also tell you we need to do better. One of the areas that we worked on is the Rebuild Iowa Infrastructure Fund. Last year, 98% of that money was not withstood, going to a purpose other than it was dedicated. We were able to peel that down to about 48%. We couldn't get it all off of there. But in the second year budget that we've got, that'll be down to 0. So there's still more work to do. And we're committed to doing that work. But I just can't...